So the press secretary Karoline Leavitt says pay your student loans so we are coming for it in your salaries. Let's take a look.
For the first time in 5 years, the US government will begin collection next month of student loans that are in default. And they said they are willing to go as far as taking money directly out of potentially millions of people's paychecks to recover unpaid debts.
Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others.
Hey, Caroline, is this your boss? You know, the one that's had 6 bankruptcies and bankrupted 2 casinos and left working class people holding his bag. Are you talking about him too, right? Trump used his company as a means of transferring his personal debt load onto shareholders, issuing rounds of junk bonds to build up cash that would erase his own debts. Even as his companies did poorly, Mr. Trump did well, the Times wrote. He put up little of his own money, shifted personal debts to the casinos, and collected millions of dollars in salary. And of course, we can't leave out that next line. I didn't realize he was as stupid as he is, says a former casino worker at Trump Plaza. So what I hear you saying, Caroline, is that if a college student was too stupid to not figure out how to transfer this burden to someone else, this is their own fault. And they should just live with those consequences. Otherwise, figure out how to make it someone else's problem.
I'm not paying back my student loans. I do not care. Oh, but what about your credit score? What am I going to do with a good credit score? Buy a house on starvation wages? Buy a car I can't afford to insure? I'm not paying them back. I don't give a about my credit score. Oh, they're going to garnish your wages. Most of us are underemployed. If they start taking additional money out of my paycheck, I just won't work. My life will not get worse. I'm not going to have the money anyway, so you can't garnish what isn't there. I grew up in a far-right, conservative, hardcore Republican family, and since like kindergarten, I have been conditioned to believe that if I did not go to college, I would not be successful. I was told that if I locked in, got great grades in high school, got into college, focused, and got my degree, that I would have a life similar to the life my parents had, where my dad worked one job for like 35 years, was able to buy a house and go on vacation and support his family. That doesn't exist anymore. There's no jobs out there with pension plans. There's no jobs out there that let people my age just like buy a house. So what was all that work for? Generations of Americans have been told that if they went to college and they did the right thing, took out these loans, that it would be worth it. And most of us are finding out it's not even remotely close to worth it. You're telling me these millionaires and billionaires were able to get these PPE loans forgiven that they took out during the pandemic for millions of dollars, but I have 30 grand in college debt left and I'm refusing to pay it back, and now I'm the problem?
Y'all, they about to garnish our wages. They really know how to just ruin your day. The U.S. government hates everybody here. Y'all, as of May 5th, they're taking 15% of your wages towards student loans. Y'all, I've been ignoring student loans since I've been in school. If y'all know how much I owe in student loan, y'all would think I went to school to be a lawyer. And it's a degree that wasn't even providing me a decent lifestyle. I was just living off vibes. So you mean to tell me I went to school and y'all lied to me? Y'all wanted me to go out there and do triple the work to get a degree. Y'all, I owe so much money. I'm in Texas, so we don't have state tax. 15%. Hell, you might as well go ahead and add 5 more. Add 10. Because that's the state tax. I cannot believe this. I just had to pull over, y'all. My head started throbbing. I'm about to get a headache. They're doing this in a couple of weeks, y'all. I got to go do deferment. I got to go do something. Y'all, we can't get away from this. People are even already saying that their credit score has dropped from a 700 something to a 500 something. Oh my gosh, my credit score. 15%, whether you have it or not, as of May 5th. So long as you have money in your bank account, they are taking it. Matter of fact, financial aid just called me the other day and I hung up on them. Not in the mood. Don't have it. I'm living off life. I'm vibing. This man really said, you know what? Let's make the rich richer. Let's make the others poor.
Hey, Trump administration here. Just wanted to come on here and let y'all know that we heard your concerns about your groceries being too expensive and you not being able to afford them. So what we did to fix that was impose tariffs on all those stupid little countries. So you guys should probably have more expensive groceries now, but who cares about that anyway? Can we talk about student loans? Because y'all need to start paying those back like yesterday. And if you can't pay them back, we're just going to start taking it out of your paycheck. And I really want to actually bring up also the whole baby thing, because y'all aren't having babies like you used to. So we decided we're going to help you out. We're going to give y'all $5,000 so that can cover like a month of daycare for the baby. Yeah.
They just said that 92% of the people that went to college and racked up all this student loan debt don't and won't have jobs in the degrees that they got the debt in. So why y'all asking us to pay this money back? If you know that, why are we being asked to pay? And then this is the thing that gets me. Before I could even lift my right foot out of the door frame of graduation, my university was already contacting me for a donation. It's because of y'all that I'm a damn flipping donation to the Department of Education. And now they want to garnish our wages. What did you go to school for? Did you graduate with your degree? And are you actively using your degree to make tons of money like they promised you? Was it worth going to college? Was it worth racking up all this student loan debt? And even if you did go to college, finish your degree, you walked across the stage and you got your pretty degree, have you finished paying back your student loans? Will you pay back your student loans?
So Trump wasn't able to get no money from the tariffs, so now he's going to bother you, the person who was educated, by garnishing your wages from your student loans. But before you panic, let's look more into this. Let's get some more info and see if we can offer up some solutions. Because I'm a solution-focused kind of bitch. I'm not here to just make you be scary or make you, go down a tunnel of despair. We going to look at this together, understand it together, and then we're going to think of some options. The Department of Education can garnish up to 15% of a borrower's disposable income, okay? And that garnishment usually happens after 270 days of missed payments, okay? This does not count, like these are for people who have already been in default. This does not count if you were in forbearance or if you were, if you were on an IDR plan or anything like that. This does not count for you. This is for people who were in default. Now, if you were in default and you missed that 270 days of payment, that's when the federal loans can just do it without a court judgment. If you have a private loan, it could be sooner. So you want to start acting like right now. So here are some of the things you could do. Number one, you can go ahead and jump on that IDR plan. The income-driven repayment plan is live. I just went on the federal student aid and checked. They did take it down, but the courts made them put it back up. So it is working. So go on there and get yourself an IDR plan. You can also do a deferment or a forbearance. If you have the hardship, it's not bad. So you can definitely do that. Another thing, the third option is call your loan servicer right now. Not right now, but tomorrow, during the day, call them. Whoever services your aids, call them and try to negotiate a repayment term, okay? It's better if you get on the phone and do this. I have been through this before. I almost defaulted on my loans when I first got out of school, probably back in 2013. And right before I defaulted, I called and, basically gave them my situation. And the person on the phone sat with me and helped me figure out some options. Now, I ain't saying everybody gonna be like that. You may have to hang up and call somebody else too. But some of the people who work, they really will sit there and help you figure it out and figure out some options that are best for you when it comes to repayment. When it comes to this administration, you cannot be on the defense. You have to be on the offense. So I would say right now, I'm going to be honest, I don't think they're going to stop at student loans. If you have any other forms of debt, whether it be credit card debt, car loan debt, if you ever have any outstanding debts that are in collections, handle that right now. Call up these companies and set up a payment plan, because something in my heart, in my spirit tells me it's not going to stop here. Because I think with the way they're doing things, I do think they're going to also hit a snag. And what I have come as I'm watching this administration, every time they hit a snag or anytime that something doesn't work out in the way they thought it would, they go and they try to attack someone else in another way. Because you cannot tell me, first of all, the Department of Education was not supposed to be here. They said it was going to be shut down. They said all of our student loans was going to be moved to the SBA. And it just so happens when the tariffs kind of almost tore down this market, what are they doing? They're going to garnish all of the wages for student loans. And I want everybody to know, let me tell you something. This country needs student loans. That's why they were so gung-ho going against any politician that was for any type of forbearance or forgiveness, because this country needs student loans. I don't have the words to fully articulate, but I realize they don't want to get rid of it because they need this debt from us, from the people. So handle that. Be on the offense right now. Call your service loan person, check on your IDR plans, get that forbearance, all that stuff, get that set up, and start budgeting out things right now because, yeah. But do not go into panic mode. They want you to panic. You have options. Start working on those options. When you run out of options, then we can go to the next step about how you can overcome wage garnishments. We can go there, but I hope that helps.
Education department is warning that if we don't pay back our student loans, that our wages are going to start being garnished. I thought y'all were supposed to be somewhere not existing. When they dismantled the education department, they also dismantled my $56,000 in student loans that I owe, okay? And the thing is, I shouldn't even owe those loans. I should not even owe those loans. For half my college career, I was literally a homeless student. And their solution was, here are more predatory loans so you can get a degree and go work in public service. Oh my God, why do you want it to be free? You should just went into a trade. It wasn't offered to me. It was not offered to me. I would have loved to have gone into a trade and been an electrician and not had student loan debt, but I did what I needed to do. I was 17 years old. You gave a 17-year-old $30,000 in student loans, and now I'm supposed to pay it back? The education department was dismantled. So why are my student loans not dismantled? Talking about garnishing wages. 5 million people, y'all out y'all mind.
There's no way that you're upset that you have to pay a loan back that you signed up for. Nobody held your hand and forced you to sign on the dotted line after you agreed to the terms and conditions. You're mad because you believed the liars from the last administration that we're going to forgive you of those loans. That's why you're mad. They promise. We're going to get rid of them. We're going to forgive. You're the one who signed up for them. You went to the bank or the institution or whatever and said, I need this loan. I'm going to sign my life away for it. You probably didn't read the fine print. And you've had, it was frozen in 2020. You've had 5 years to think about this. Don't give me we only have 2 weeks to get our life together. You've had 5 years. If you make poor decisions like that, you might as well just sign up for a little OF and start selling the photos, because that's real life. Be an adult. Pull your little panties up and get to work.
I graduated with approximately $500,000 worth of student loan debt. These are my thoughts on the skyrocketing monthly payments. When I was in school, we actually had a couple hour seminar on student loan debt and how you can go around repaying it. It could either be through working for a nonprofit where you make way less money, but at the time they had promised that the loans would be forgiven after 10 years. The other way was to do income-based repayment. And during the seminar at my school, I raised a lot of concern. I told people around me, and I also asked the professors, hey, the administration changes every 4 years. How are you guaranteeing that this works for people in the future? And honestly, I did not believe it at all. I was very lucky that I was one of the few that was not duped, but with that much student loan, I knew I needed an action plan. I decided to just do my own plan, and so I decided to move to a state that had no state income tax, and I worked my butt off. So I would work around 12 to 16 hours, 5 days a week, and then on the weekends, I would go and substitute into other clinics and work there. So essentially, I was working 6 to 7 days a week, most weeks the first couple years that I graduated. And this is not ideal for everybody. But in my mind, I had a burdensome amount of debt that I knew I had to repay. And so I worked my butt off to get a lot of that paid down in the first 2 years alone. I had no work-life balance. It was actually very stressful and very horrible. But in my mind, I had taken out these student loans, and so I needed to repay them, and I didn't feel comfortable or confident relying on the government or anybody else to like save me from my own student loans. A lot of people are coerced into taking out high student loans without really understanding the implications of it, and that's something that needs to be addressed. Institutions also need to be held more accountable. Like, there is no reason why a school should be charging hundreds of thousands of dollars to get through and start your career.
All right, so here's my idea to help people with their student loan repayments, because I haven't heard any other ideas or any ideas at all. All right, we take a Twitch channel that's at affiliate or above, right? We can even take my Twitch channel, right? We name it Student Loan Repayment Machine, okay? And we just run that thing 24 hours a day. We don't shut it down, right? We run it 24 hours a day. We run 3-minute ads at the top of the hour, at the bottom of the hour, and we just get hundreds of thousands of people to just log in, watch this channel nonstop 24 hours a day. You don't even have to watch it. Just put it on like your phone when you're asleep at night, or put it on your computer, your smart TV when you leave to go to work or to go to class, whatever it may be, right? And we just let this thing run. We set up a Discord server. People come in, they say how much student loan they have, and we just go round robin. We just start paying it off left, right, and center. We just start helping people, and we just use the infrastructure these demons have set up, all right, to help ourselves. That's my idea.
Oh my god, that's a wild take, and I don't advise anyone to do that. It's not gonna work for everybody. Maybe it's gonna work for a few who know how to navigate around Twitch, but it's not gonna work for everybody. And also, let's talk about student loans. I really do think student loans should not exist. The government should offer free education to everyone, and this idea of loans, especially giving loans to underage kids. Obviously, kids in college are between 16, 17, 18 or 19 years, most of them, and giving them such huge loans and then throwing them into the world of unknown, especially now that there are no jobs, it doesn't sound fair at all to these kids. Imagine the huge financial burden you have to overcome, and also trying to balance your life, trying to figure out life, trying to have a family, trying to, get going in this life. It's just too much for the young population, and I think the government needs to work its way around it. Anyways, guys, who do you think had the most viable point? Give me your thoughts in the comment section down there below.